Football history isn't just measured in trophies and goals, it's measured in eras. There are moments that define the beginning of one era, and there are moments that mark the end of another. For years in the early 2000s, when you thought of football perfection, you thought of one man, Ronaldinho. His magic was beyond measure, his smile more iconic than many trophies, and his talent seemed to come from pure joy. Ronaldinho was not just a superstar, he was the phenomenon who made fans gasp in stadiums and fall in love with football all over again. He commanded respect and adoration, he won the FIFA World Player of the Year, and he inspired his teammates and opponents alike with moves and tricks no one had ever seen before. But football is a sport that doesn't stand still, and greatness on the football field is a flame that must be constantly reignited. If it dims, somebody else rises to take its place. Enter Cristiano Ronaldo, a young Portuguese talent who arrived at Manchester United with style and promise but was still considered by many critics to be a flashy winger lacking final consistency. Ronaldo had the skills, the pace, and the audacity to take on defenders, yet what truly set him apart was not just his talent, it was his obsession with becoming better every single day. While Ronaldinho played with flair and instinct, Ronaldo trained with precision and discipline. Ronaldinho's brilliance was like fire that delighted and inspired, Ronaldo's brilliance became like steel that struck repeatedly and with purpose. As Ronaldo's career unfolded, year after year, he refined his body, sharpened his skill, and honed his hunger. The definition of elite football was evolving, and Ronaldo was determined not just to be great, but to be dominant. The defining point of this transition, the moment that marked the shift in global football influence, came during the 2007-08 season. Cristiano Ronaldo was now integral to Manchester United's success. He wasn't just an up-and-coming talent anymore, he was one of the world's top forwards, scoring goals, grabbing headlines, and terrorizing defenders across the Premier League and Europe. That season, he scored an astonishing 42 goals in all competitions, helping Manchester United secure both the Premier League title and the UEFA Champions League trophy, culminating in victory in the final against Chelsea. His performances were explosive, consistent, and impressive, not just flashy for highlights reels, but truly impactful on the biggest stages. At the end of the year, he won his first Ballon d'Or, football's most prestigious individual honor, an award that had previously been won by Ronaldinho in 2005 and was now awarded to Ronaldo as recognition that he was the best player on the planet. This award marked not just a personal milestone for Ronaldo but a symbolic passing of the torch in global football. Ronaldinho's influence was unmatched for several years. At FC Barcelona, he had helped lead the club to La Liga titles and a Champions League crown, mesmerizing fans with his creativity, unpredictability, and confidence. The way he weaved past defenders, delivered impossible passes, and ended games with instinctive brilliance, it was as if football had become art under his feet. He won the FIFA World Player of the Year award and was respected by every player, coach, and fan around the world. But human brilliance, even when it shines so brightly, needs consistent refinement to stay at the summit of the sport. In the 2007-08 season, Ronaldinho struggled with injuries, form, and focus, resulting in a dip compared to his peak years. His performances were less dominant, and his rotation in Barcelona's squad became more frequent. The Brazilian legend went from being the undisputed face of global football to someone whose influence was no longer unassailable. He was not bad by any measure, just not at the very peak he once commanded. As Ronaldo's star rose, Ronaldinho's influence began to fade. It wasn't a dramatic collapse, it was more a quiet transition, a shift in football's balance of power. Ronaldo's career after his Ballon d'Or win only accelerated. He moved to Real Madrid in one of the most expensive transfers of the time, and there he became a global phenomenon. He shattered scoring records, led Real Madrid to numerous Champions League titles, and became one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet. His consistency, athleticism, longevity, and hunger to win trophies year after year set new standards for modern football greatness. Ronaldinho, by contrast, saw a steady decline in his influence at elite European level, eventually departing Barcelona and never quite returning to his peak form. This moment, crystallized by Ronaldo's first Ballon d'Or and his club success in 2008, represented more than just a trophy change. Football had entered a new era, one where goals mattered more than gait, fitness and professionalism became as revered as flair, and statistical dominance became part of the narrative of greatness. Ronaldo, through his sheer determination, consistency and relentless pursuit of improvement, had forced the footballing world to accept that he was not just a future star, but the global benchmark. That is why December 2008 is seen by many football historians as the night Cristiano Ronaldo stepped out of Ronaldinho's long shadow and firmly into the role of the game's new king. What makes this transition so compelling is that it was never built on animosity between the two players. Ronaldinho, to his credit, recognized Ronaldo's achievements. Years later, when Ronaldo continued to win individual honors late into his career, Ronaldinho publicly congratulated him, showing respect for the Portuguese star's consistency and impact on the game. Their moment of intersection wasn't defined by rivalry, hate, or controversy, it was defined by excellence in different forms and a natural evolution in the sport's priorities and performances. Ronaldo's dominance in the years that followed, including multiple Champions League titles in different countries, and more Ballon d'Or trophies, solidified the shift that began on that defining night in 2008. Looking at the broader football landscape, that period marked the transition from a football world captivated by defensive ingenuity and individual spectacle to one increasingly driven by athleticism, fitness, precision, and records. Ronaldo's style, explosive speed, athletic training, powerful shot, and aerial dominance, set a new archetype for what it meant to be not only a great forward but a transcendent football icon. Meanwhile, Ronaldinho's legacy, breathtaking creativity, artful flair, and joyful celebration of the sport, remains timeless, cherished by fans who remember his best years as moments of pure footballing poetry. Yet as the world moved forward, Ronaldo became the standard by which strikers were judged, and a player who continuously reinvented himself to remain relevant at the top level far beyond what many thought possible. In many ways, the night Cristiano Ronaldo replaced Ronaldinho as football's global figurehead is not reducible to a single match or a single moment. It was a culmination of seasons, achievements, evolution in playing style, and the unrelenting pursuit of excellence. Ronaldo's first Ballon d'Or win, his incredible scoring runs, and his ability to carry teams on his shoulders across leagues and competitions validated that shift for fans, pundits, and future generations of footballers. While Ronaldinho's brilliance remains one of the most magical chapters in the sport's history, Ronaldo's legacy is defined by longevity, consistency, and a transformation of what it means to be the undisputed face of world football. Ultimately, this story is not just about two great players, it's about the evolution of football itself. It's about how legends are made, how eras change, and how the definition of excellence transforms over time. Ronaldinho gave the world moments of joy and inspiration, teaching fans that football can be beautiful with a smile and a flick of the heel. Ronaldo showed the world that greatness can be earned over time, through discipline, ambition, and unwavering focus on mastery. In the end, they both shaped football in powerful ways, Ronaldinho in how we viewed creativity and flair, and Ronaldo in how we perceive endurance and legacy. And so, when football fans speak of the night Cristiano Ronaldo replaced Ronaldinho as football's king, they're not just talking about a trophy or a moment of recognition. They're talking about a turning point, a moment in history when the sport found a new face, a new standard, and a new story to tell. Football had moved from one icon to another, from magic to mastery, and in the heart of that evolution lies one simple truth: greatness never disappears, it evolves. And on that night in 2008, the game itself acknowledged a new ruler, a new king, and a new chapter in the story of world football that would captivate fans for years to come.